move on swiftly, so thank you.
Thank you, thanks very much. Yes, thanks for inviting me. I'll just say just a little bit about myself and the agency, the way we work. And then I'm being asked to talk about concept ideas. How do you work out whether ideas are a good idea or a bad idea? So we try. And I've written down some notes for the simple reason I'm Italian and I tend to talk quite a lot. So I don't want to be rambling and carrying on talking about myself all the time. So I wanted to give you something also that is to do with the topic. So without further ado, I work for various literary agencies. I came over to England 17 years ago, and I work for various literary agencies and publishing houses. I've always wanted to be an agent. I wanted to work with books and people, so agents were the perfect job for me. But I also wanted to work with publishers because I thought it would be interesting just to see how things are running a publishing house, who does what. I just get a really round experience of the whole business, not just one side of it. So in terms of the publishers, I've worked with HarperCollins and Conrad Octopus, and they do special, they do a lot of illustrated books, and HarperCollins still do all types of books. And then I worked for, again, different literary agencies. And in 2002, I left the job that I had in the previous agency and set up my own agency. So this year is going to be the 10th year. Very exciting, and it's gone really, really fast. The list has grown a lot, but one thing I'm very aware of, I want to keep it like a small agency. I've worked for large organizations before, and one of the things I was keen on is got very small, I know all agents say that, but really very small, manageable list of waters, and try to concentrate on those rather than have loads of people on the list, and then just do so a little bit. That's the setup. In terms of the way we work, although the agency is small, we still look after all aspects of an author's. If you write a book, there are rights that you can sell. It's not just a book, but you can sell translation rights, American rights, dramatic rights, film rights, all sorts of rights. So what we do, we partnered up with other agencies for film and TV rights, and we work with an agency in London and an agency in New York. So when there is the opportunity to sell film rights or TV rights in any of our authors' work, they do that. And in terms of translation rights, we have a network of foreign agents in all countries, basically, cover the world. And for the US, which is obviously the biggest market, we work with different agencies there. So depending on the project, some of them specialize in more, say, fiction or non-fiction, or more literary type of books, more practical. So depending on the project, we work with one agent or the other. So that's a little bit the setup of the agency. Serial rights is another important right. Is the right when magazines buy extracts from your book and publish extracts from your book, and we tend to do that in-house in audio rights as well, which is when we produce digital downloads or tapes of the book. Again, that's those rights we handle at the agency. In terms of the authors, so we represent authors for all their rights, which are the vast majority of our authors. So somebody writes a book and we look after all aspects of their work. But we also act as secondary agents for other agencies, mainly American agencies, but also some from Europe, from Canada, from Australia. So what we do, we sell their authors' work in the UK to UK publishers. And a third line, which is actually the smallest one, we also represent a UK publisher and a couple of agencies, and we sell translation rights for them. So these are the type of works kind of we do, which is kind of it's broad, and we specialize. We do a lot of translation right deals. The vast majority. I brought some books so you can take a look at and get a better sense of the list. But usually the books tend to be projects that lend themselves to there's some kind of international potential, and you can translate in different languages. In terms of the authors, then we do fiction and non-fiction, both literary and commercial. Although I'd say it's probably more commercial than literary. For fiction, it's all types of fiction, but we don't do children's books or fantasy or science fiction, purely strict science fiction books. We don't handle this kind of work. YA, yes, young adults, yes, but not children's or children's illustrated books. And in terms of for non-fiction is all anything that you can put the popular words before. So it could be popular history, popular science, popular music, lifestyle, cookery. I call them my girly books, which they are usually very well written books by journalists, but they deal with issues, female I don't know, detox your finances, the money guide for women, written by Financial Times journalists. So you've got the authority. Then it's topics or it's ideas that are actually their broad appeal and of general interest. So that's a little bit. I'll just show you very quickly maybe some covers. It's actually a mix bag, a backpack, and that's the other thing. So I'm not really sure what I'm getting. Right, this one, for example, this is commercial women's fiction, this kind of suspense. I'll go really, really quickly. If anyone wants to take a proper look, then you can have a look. Right, stay here. This is a crime author. She's done really well. She won the Ellis Award, which is the biggest crime writing award in Canada. That's women's fiction. She was the very first author, actually. I took on when I set up the agency 10 years ago, and this is was very, very big deal with Random House here at St. Martin's Press, and she's now translated in 29 languages. And this novel that was actually signed up 10 years ago became a film in May with Kate Hudson and Jennifer Goodwin this year. So even if you sell film rights sometimes, it takes 10 years for it to happen if it happens at all. But it's very satisfying because it's the first project for the agency, so it's quite exciting. That's a YA novel, published by Simon & Schuster. That's a memoir. And when this was actually published in September, there was a Sunday Times bestseller for 6 weeks, so that's quite nice. Thibault Fisher is really interesting. This is more literary fiction for those who know you. I don't represent Thibault as a primary agent, but I have the translation rights for it. So he does really well. This is popular science, we saw this in loads of countries as well, and also we split English language rights between UK, America, Canada, and Australia, so split the rights. Certain times I think you can do that kind of thing. What else? Jonathan Sachs, we handle his own translation rights. He is the chief rabbi, and this book's beautiful. It's allowed Karen Armstrong. It's the debate between religion and science, Richard Dawkins, and that's his take. This is a food memoir, a life in the week in the life of a baker. There's loads of recipes, really inspirational memoir, kind of eat, pray, love, and it's written by Sandra Bullock's sister, so that helps with publicity. This is popular psychology. This is historical. She sets her novels in the end of the centuries and in the 30s, 40s. She's brilliant. She's published by Random House in Australia and a little brown here. She's also, she was Judy Nunley's with Elsa in Normal Away. She played Normal Away for a long time. But she's a brilliant novelist, very, very good. This is a lifestyle book. She used to be the fashion editor of Her magazine. So it's a book about being a woman when you're a child, what changed, what doesn't change. It's really interesting. It did really well. We saw it in many, many countries. How to Live Like an Italian. That was just you see this coming. Actually, I was having a drink with an editor, and we were talking about a book that did really well called Why French Women Don't Get Fat. And we all loved it, and anyway, it did so well. And actually, I was thinking to the editor, I said, no one has actually done anything about it. So you think about it, food, fashion, anything like that. And I said, I don't, but I had a journalist, that she's actually an Italian correspondent from London, from one of many Italian papers. She's married to a British guy, so she's the perfect person. She was a perfect person to write that kind of book. This is an example, because we're going to talk about ideas and concepts. This is an example where you can have a really good idea, and then you can match the idea with the right person to write it. For non-fiction, it's something that you can do quite easily. Fiction is slightly different. In non-fiction, you can do it. This is a travel book, popular history. Sorry, I know it's very hard for you. See, popular history. This is a dating guide. Behind every great man, there's a fabulous great woman, but he's a fabulous gay man. That tells you also is the twist. Again, talking about concepts, there's loads of dating guys, so this was very successful. It was signed out by Penguin in America, by Transworld here, so loads of countries as well. This is commercial women's fiction, popular psychology, popular history, and that's a book about winemaking in Bordeaux, so it's beautifully illustrated, so this is like a wine book. So you get a little bit of a sense of the kind of projects that I'm interested in. One thing I would say is that all these books, I mean, anything I take on is something I like personally, and that I think I can sell. So if it fulfills these two criteria, I can take on anything basically, and that's one of the nice things when you can work with an agent, especially if you're your own boss. So this is a little bit about the kind of waters that we represent. Then, when people ask me, what are you looking for? I always try to actually think about this in terms of, in a general sense. If you ask agents, you probably get very similar answers. So there is the general one. The general answer would be, you want to represent something that's talented, that's committed to a career in writing, and it's something that actually got is professional attitude. This is really, really important because no matter how you start and how seriously you want to take it at the beginning of writing, when you get to a certain level, you have to have, you have to take it as a job, a very pleasurable job, but it's still a job. So it's really important that you develop that kind of, if you want to become a surgeon, you do certain things. If you want to become a writer, you have to get into that mindset. Or what it requires, basically. And the thing is, you can be talented, you can be committed and everything, but also what you need is to have a product that actually an agent can sell. Something that you can sell either now or with a little bit of tweaks, with a lot of revision. So these are the two things. So I think most agents, they'll probably tell you that. So talent, commitment, and then have basically something that other people want to read, not just to read, and to buy. And I'll get to this point because I think this is a really important kind of distinction as well, especially if you try to engage the services of an agent. So having said that, this is very general kind of thing. Then every agent, maybe agents are very different. They specialize, some like certain types of books. They specialize in certain genres. They don't deal in other type of books. So for you, it's important to also find out, do your research and find out who does what, and send it to the right people. In terms of fiction, Kirsty sent me a little bit of a questionnaire, and I think I don't want to repeat the same things as I said on the little question and answer. So I won't repeat exactly that, but what I would say is just what I really like, whatever I'm reading, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, I want something that really has to touch me. It has to either make me laugh, either make me cry, or learn something new and make me think. These are the criteria. Then you can write about anything you want. But as long as, the worst thing is something's really flat, or it feels that, from page one you know exactly how it's going to go, and there's no, it's kind of flat. Having said that, if you're writing a crime novel, and one of the techniques is to be that you know who did the murder on page one. And the whole point of the book is that how they did it and why they did it. So that's the difference, slightly different kind of thing. But in general, you really want to have a reaction. If you think about reading the book a little bit like when you're watching the film, after 5 minutes, if it's not interesting, it's a bit boring, you switch off, and that's what agents, editors do when they start reading the book. So that's important. Then going to the concept, the idea, how do you know if you've got a good idea or a bad idea? That's a really hard one, actually. And whenever people find out I'm a literary agent, they tell me either they start to pitch me their own ideas, or they tell me one of their friends, relatives, grandmom, whichever is writing the book, and what do I think of it? And I think that's really, how do you answer that? It's really hard, because the thing is,